All right, guys, let's have an honest conversation about size. No, not yours, hers. I have worked with so many men who are concerned about their own size, so much so that they completely forget to consider hers. And that is a shame, because having this information goes a long way towards knowing exactly how to please your partner. Understanding vaginal depth is actually very key to delivering the most amount of pleasure, but also, very importantly, to avoiding discomfort. Both of those things together can make sex feel amazing for both of you, no matter what you're working with. You see, most men assume that when it comes to penetration, deeper is always better. But I did a poll of women, and universally we said that's not true. The reality is so much more nuanced than that. And in this video, we are going to explore the depths of an ocean of pleasure together, by which I mean the vagina. And I'm gonna break down what's really going on down there. I'm gonna debunk some common myths that are keeping you from your sexual best, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how to use this information to give her more pleasure. When it comes to the depth of the vagina, here are 5 game-changing things you have got to understand. Number 5, it is not as deep as you think. Really important, okay? The average penis size in porn would have you believe that the vagina is a somewhat endless tunnel that is best and only best filled with a massive erection, but that could not be further from the truth. On average, the vagina, the resting vagina, is only 3 to 4 inches deep when relaxed. But just like the penis, it undergoes certain physiological changes when aroused that change the length. So when excited, the length of a vagina, the canal itself, can expand to about 5 to 7 inches deep. So if you are someone who has maybe watched a lot of porn and is walking around with the belief that all women need an 8+ inch erection in order to be satisfied, this is the point where I tell you that most non-professional, meaning non-porn acting women, would not be even able to fit it. Considering that we're starting off with like a 3-inch canal and it grows up to maybe 7 inches at max, size is rarely an issue when it comes to pleasure, especially when you consider my next point. Number 4, you have to mind the end. The vagina isn't a bottomless pit, even though some people treat it as it is. It has a very, very clear and very sensitive endpoint that is called the cervix. The cervix is a small, firm, and round structure. It looks very much like a donut when it's healthy, like a little pink glazed donut, and it exists at the end of the vaginal canal. It acts as the gatekeeper to the uterus, and it has a small opening in the center that allows semen in, and when a woman menstruates, allows blood out. And the thing about the cervix, it is innervated. It does have nerves. It is sensitive. It doesn't have as many nerve endings as other parts of the anatomy, but it is a pretty polarizing part of the female body when it comes to sensation. Some women do like the sensation of light cervical stimulation during sex, but many of us find it achy and unpleasant. I personally find it very painful early on in sex if it gets touched, and feels good later on in sex. Same body, same experience, different sensations. For most women, if you hit the cervix bang on early during sex, it can cause a lot of pain on the level of a very intense period cramp, because what's happening is kind of similar. And you do not want to cause something akin to an intense period cramp, which can hurt as much as a heartache during sex. Opposite of sexy. Anyways, whether your partner likes or dislikes deep penetration is for you to discover. But it is important to keep in mind that regardless of her preferences, giving her what she wants has more to do with finding the right angles than anything else. But I'm gonna get to that in just a minute. Have you ever wished that you could get inside of my brain for all of my best tips, insights, and coaching advice? Now is your chance. When you join me on Patreon, you will get access to coaching insights and content that you cannot get anywhere else. I'm doing a monthly Q&A where you can ask me anything. Yes, anything, and get real personalized answers from me. But not just that, you're also going to get bonus content that is too bold for YouTube, that includes practical tips for you to transform your sex life. You'll also get early access and ad-free videos and exclusive members-only discounts. Think of it as your VIP pass to my world, the world in which I share the tools, techniques, and answers that will help you feel confident, connected, and completely in control of your love life. Click the link in the description to join, and let's make sure that you get the kind of insights and information that's going to have your partner thanking you again and again. I'll see you inside. Number 3, it's flexible and it expands. Another important thing to note about the vagina is that it doesn't just operate as a straight tube that expands lengthwise. It is flexible and expands in every which direction in order to accommodate the specific size and shape of whatever is entering it. And although it is flexible, every vagina has its own natural shape and internal structures. And MRIs have proven that the penis actually bends to fit the shape of the vagina. For the longest time, people erroneously thought that the vagina conformed around the penis. It's actually the other way around. Think science. This is another reason why penises really aren't one size fits all. In fact, size doesn't have nearly as much to do with mutual pleasure as fit does. Right? You know how something can fit you very well or very poorly, but the size on the tag doesn't make any difference? Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. You know how sometimes like you're cuddling someone, for example, and it just feels like your bodies are meant for each other, like they fit together like a tight little glove. And then other times it takes a little bit more effort and energy to find the right angle and make your bodies come together in a cozy way. And sometimes that literally just doesn't work. Your bodies just don't operate together that way. Well, our genitals are kind of the same. Not all women need or even desire a man with a large penis. Not all women want to be filled their entire length, and definitely most of us don't want to be filled more than our entire length. We all hope to find someone that has a natural fit with our bodies. And if not, we hope to find someone who knows enough about sex because they subscribe to this channel to find workarounds and make things pleasurable regardless. And considering that you're still here watching this video, you're on the right track. Number 2, it's all about the entrance. Now, I know this video is about vaginal depth, but it is important to understand what actually is in the different depths of the vagina and also what's not there, right? When it comes to female pleasure, the most sensitive areas are actually, first of all, on the outside, on the vulva, and then within the first few inches of the vaginal canal. And the deeper you go, the less nerve endings and pleasure points that there are. And so for the most part, after the first couple inches, there's not a whole lot of sensation that can drive intensity and pleasure. Now look, some women love deep penetration. That's because we have the A spot and the PS spot that are located next to the cervix. But more women actually say that they prefer penis girth to length. And that has to say something, about women's preferences. We enjoy the experience of feeling full side to side more than back to front. And that is because when it comes to all the sensation, the heavy hitters, the G spot, all that, close to the opening. Even more importantly, the clitoris, which has the most nerve endings, the highest pleasure for potential and all that, isn't even in the vagina. Do with that information what you will. The moral of the story is that if you know what to do at every point along the way of the vagina, it won't really matter if you don't get all the way to the end of the cul-de-sac, because all the important stuff is up at the front. And if you do want to explore deep penetration, it's like I mentioned earlier, it all comes down to the angle. Typically, positions where she can tilt and lift her pelvis will allow for deeper penetration. For example, you can reach deeper in missionary if she lifts up her hips or her legs. Doggy style can be great for deep penetration, especially if her legs are spread far and wide, in which case you can enter her from behind, for example, like when she lays on her stomach. And again, lifting her hips is gonna make all the difference here. And here's the thing, position is only half of the equation. How you move, your rhythm, your depth, your thrusting technique is actually what makes penetration feel mind-blowing instead of just deep. If you really want to understand exactly how to use positions and movements together to maximize her pleasure, then you need to check out my thrusting and positions masterclass. In it, I break down the most effective angles, the best positions for every type of sensation, every type of orgasm, and how to control your thrusting to give her the kinds of orgasms that stay in her body for days. If you're serious about becoming a better lover, this is one masterclass that you do not want to miss. It comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Link is in the description. Check it out. But remember, the goal isn't always deep penetration. Like I mentioned earlier, not all women want to feel you reach the end of their vaginal canal. In fact, it may be painful. So if your partner is someone who doesn't enjoy the feeling of those deeper sensations, the penetration all the way to the back, then positions like regular missionary with her legs down, spooning, or cowgirl can all be really great options. At the end of the day, the vagina is incredible. Say it with me. Vaginas are incredible. They're flexible, they adapt, they have countless possibilities for pleasure. Whether your partner enjoys getting deep or finds it achy and uncomfortable is all about understanding the mechanics of what is going on down there. And when you got that, you can give her exactly the kind of pleasure that she craves. At the end of the day, It's all about exploration. That's all we're here to do. It's fun. It's not life or death, it's sex. Well, I mean, it could be. Life or death sex is not a great thing. That's not what this is about. Communicate openly with your partner. Discover what she likes and what feels good for her in that moment, at that time, with her body as it is today. Discovering things together is half of the fun. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did any of this information surprise you? What have you learned about vaginas and their depths along the way? And don't forget to make sure that you are subscribed so you don't ever miss a thing. I'm Caitlin V, and I'll see you here later. Bye.